Both parties, please raise your right hands.
24-year-old plaintiff Chelsea Brandt is suing her ex-husband, James Brandt, for unpaid taxes, lost wages, and mental anguish. Chelsea says James was addicted to crystal meth and physically abused her when she was 7 months pregnant. James is countersuing Chelsea for car payments, damaged property, and harassment.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Judge Pirro presiding.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Judge. Please be seated.
Okay, today we have the case of Chelsea Brandt suing James Brandt for unpaid taxes, lost wages, and mental anguish. And James is countersuing for unpaid car payments, damaged property, and harassment. Chelsea, why don't you tell us how you met?
Well, we met in November of 2003. We were both working at the same place at the time. Things began kind of quickly. We began dating. We then moved in together. In March of 2004, we found out we were pregnant with our beautiful daughter, Caitlin.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We were very excited. I was kind of nervous, but we both began to be pretty excited.
Were you excited?
I was caught off guard. I wasn't really into. I just got out of jail, so.
What do you mean you were caught off guard? You had a baby. You know how you have a baby. Were you surprised?
Of course. I mean, it's a baby. I was excited that I was having a baby.
Good.
Yes.
Oh, that's the good news.
Actually, we was very excited. But from there, you know, things just kind of progressed. He proposed to me, and we got married in July of that year. After our marriage, things just kind of went downhill from there. He worked nights at the time, and at first he would come home on his lunches and wake me up and spend some time with me, and then he would go back to work, of course, and he just kind of stopped coming home at lunch. And it was shortly thereafter I found out he was very heavily into meth usage.
Meth?
Yes.
Methamphetamines?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
How'd you get involved with that?
Well, working graveyard. Obviously, you don't meet and we were working at Walmart. I had been into meth before. I moved cities to get away from that.
Do you know what the effect of crystal meth is? That crystal meth is second only to alcohol and marijuana as a drug used most frequently in the United States. The damage to everything from your teeth to your central nervous system to the brain, putting you almost into an Alzheimer kind of state. Bad, bad drug. Bad stuff. I know. Go ahead.
So once I realized he, was using, it just caused a lot of chaos in our relationship. We fought all the time. In September is really where the boiling point was. It was September of 2004. We, got into a domestic violence situation. We had an argument. He pushed me, and I actually fell back and fractured my tailbone.
Were you pregnant?
Yes, I was 7 months pregnant, and my sister witnessed the incident.
All right, come on up. State your name.
My name is Sarah Volkoff. I'm Chelsea's sister, and I was there the day that it happened. I had to get in between the two of them.
What were they fighting about?
Me and Trey had been out all night, and
you were out
together. Yes, and Chelsea was very upset, and she didn't know where we were. And when we came back, they started arguing. He got to the point he was so mad he pushed her. She fell, and I intervened, and he left. He took off.
Did you call the police?
Absolutely. Yes. We filed a report. I unfortunately couldn't get copies, but yes, there was a police report filed.
And what happened? Was he arrested?
Yes, he was arrested.
Were you convicted?
I pled guilty, yes, Your Honor.
So you admit to it?
No, I did.
Whoa! You don't say that. I've been a county judge and a DA for too many years to tell me you pled guilty, but you weren't guilty. If you weren't guilty, say I'm not guilty. I'm taking it to trial. She's wrong, and you pushed her. Admit
Your Honor,
it.
Because I was pregnant with our daughter, and we had kind of reconciled, and he had gotten sober, and I actually wanted to drop the charges for the sake of our daughter.
I've heard enough about that. Why don't you sit down? Thank you. But why? What are you suing him for?
I'm going for mental anguish, and the main reason is this information that I have right here. Our story kind of our marriage came to a screeching halt on March 27th of 2006. I received an email when I arrived at work from a female that showed proof of his infidelity to me. I have the email that I received. I also have with it a 5-day chat IM conversation where he says very vicious things about me and about us being separated already, which we were not. And then with that is a nude picture that he sent to the female of himself.
Who was this female?
It was a woman that he had met on the internet. He also sent pictures of our daughter, Your Honor. He sent another.
Did you send this picture to a woman while you were married to the plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor, but
You were on crystal meth, right?
no, not after that. I was clean after that. I got clean after she threw me in jail, and I got out.
Plaintiff Chelsea Brandt is suing her ex-husband, James Brandt, for mental anguish. Chelsea says James assaulted her while she was 7 months pregnant.
All right, so we've got emails. Is this how the relationship came to an end?
Absolutely came to yes.
Okay,
Screeching halt.
Andrea, are you Andrea? All right. I'm looking at these. This is clear they're having a sexual relationship. Okay, he's sending nude pictures of himself. He's talking about the parts of her body that he likes, and she's talking about the parts of his body that she likes. I mean, I don't, you know. Yeah, it's aggravating. It is.
Yes,
okay,
Your Honor.
go ahead. Hit me.
I met her. I went to work at Walmart.
Right, you met at Walmart. We got that.
I moved down here to get away from everything. You know, I just wanted to work at Walmart. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I'd been locked up for 44 months. I wasn't into a sit down, let's, you know, make a family relationship. I knew that. She knew that.
But you got her pregnant. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
She had told me beginning that she couldn't get pregnant. So I thought, okay, well, this is perfect.
That's a lie.
Doesn't
Of course.
matter.
But anyway,
What makes you think that a young woman is not going to get pregnant just because she said it?
maybe she was on birth control. Maybe she's messed up. Like I said, I just got out.
Okay, you didn't.
so I
She
was-
gets pregnant. Talk to me.
Was I excited about getting married? No. I mean, if you ask her about our wedding, I'll be totally honest. I was high. I couldn't even tell you our wedding date. I did it because I wanted to do it for. I thought the child deserved something. You know, I didn't go up there because I'm madly in love or anything like that.
You know what? You don't need to beat her up anymore.
I'm not trying to
I
beat
mean,
her up.
you know,
I'm trying to.
the relationship is over.
It was
You know,
over.
There was no relationship. You know what?
Exactly.
There was a relationship when you got into bed with her. That's when the relationship started, and you decided to end it. Okay. So
Right.
move on.
Okay, so I just want to say that it started bad. There was nothing good about it, and then
Oh, come on, you had a beautiful
I went to
baby.
jail.
Cut it out.
No,
I don't wanna
agree.
keep
No,
hearing that.
that I should say. It is beautiful. She is a beautiful baby.
You wouldn't know. He hasn't seen her in a year.
Yeah, and
What? What did you
no,
say?
I'm
Seen
getting
his
to that.
daughter in over a year.
Why?
I'm getting to that. So then we split up, and I get with Andrea, but she started to call my PO, and she started to call the cops, making up stuff.
Andrea, come on up. Talk to me. What do you want to tell me?
Oh, like, I'm super sorry. She has done everything she possibly could to ruin his life, and I understand how he started out, but I had 3 kids before him, and like, he is the most wonderful man in the world to me, and we now have twins together.
Well,
They're
why isn't he
4-month-old
seeing
twins.
his baby with her?
She will not let us. You don't understand, and we have tons
Have you
of
gone
witness
to court to
statements.
try to get access to this baby? Because the one thing that's bothering me right now is I've got a baby that you haven't seen for over a year, all right? I don't care how bad she makes it. You can get supervised visitation. If the two of you can't get along,
I can't go in front of the court for 39 months. I don't have anything that says that, but I do have the divorce
On the
decree.
court papers that you have to go back to court. We have tried over and over. We had her for months straight. We would have her all the time. She would call us and want to go out partying. We would take her daughter.
Ask
and
me to babysit.
the only reason we can no longer see Caitlin is Caitlin started calling me mom, and she flipped out. Caitlin was with us more than her. We love her. We love her. I love kids. I have 5 kids
this
of my
is
own.
something
I
else.
consider
Here's
Caitlin my own. I love her to death, and she has done everything to keep us from seeing her. Everything. I mean, she's called the cops on us, that if we don't bring her back, that Caitlin can't be around me.
this is simply the divorce decree, right, James?
Yes, ma'am.
This is not proof that you've gone to court to try to see the baby.
No,
You're just
it's in
telling
the-
me that
it's in
you
the
can't
works
go
right
for
now.
39 months.
It's in
I
the-
don't believe that. Look, I was a family court judge. Custody and visitation is a very fluid situation. It can change in a minute. And so parents always have access to the courts because the courts are there to facilitate the upbringing of children. You can sit down, Andrea. Now, what else are you suing for?
I am suing for back taxes that we owed in the final year that we were married. I'm suing for that. They actually took about $1,500 of my tax return this year. I had sent emails and tried to speak with them, and I've spoken with them and sent emails trying to get this paid, trying to get the back taxes paid.
So what, the IRS notifies you that during the course of your marriage you filed taxes? And
Incorrectly.
Who did the compilation? Who did the...
H&R Block did our taxes.
They did them wrong? Or did you give them bad information?
We actually, both of us missed one of our W-2s.
Okay, so now you want that money from him because you paid for it the following year? Is that what you're telling me?
I actually paid for it this year. They took almost all of my tax return this year.
Do you feel any kind of obligation to reimburse her for that mistake that you both just took responsibility for?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so the money's taken out of her taxes.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so what you're telling me now is that you feel that a moral, if not a legal obligation, to reimburse her at least for half.
Well, yeah, the ones
All right,
that
that's good. One more thing. Talk to me about the pictures.
The pictures, has to do with the countersuit. When we split up, I left. I said, you know what? I'll find some place to stay.
Good.
You keep the kid. You keep the car.
The kid.
I have
my baby. Our baby, not the kid.
Okay. You keep Caitlin. So my truck, I didn't take my truck. I took off. She took every one of my picture albums.
From where? What were they picture albums of?
Of my father who's passed away. He passed away when I was 12.
Did you take those?
Yes, ma'am.
What'd you do with them?
I put him in the bed of his truck. I also notified him they were there, and it took him 3 days to pick them up.
No. Would you like to see the pictures?
Of
the ones that are ruined? Some of the ones I couldn't...
Those are the only ones left. There was stuff just
All right,
beyond.
while I'm looking at
She
them.
told me Friday, or she did it Friday and told me Sunday. We live in Washington. It rains like 370 days a year. So
They're
so
stuck together. I can't even get them up.
Did not put a
Are these
brand new
pictures
engine
of
in
your
it.
father? Because I just see pictures of kids on...
No, those are ruined beyond.
Yeah.
The
they're-
father's ruined. All right, and these are pictures of you when you were little?
that's his
Okay, good.
bunch. That's what I
You're
have.
suing for unpaid car payments.
Okay,
Tell me what you're
right
suing
here.
for.
It's for the Maxima.
Well,
And
what
here's
about
the letter.
the Maxima?
She was supposed to pay the payments on it,
Okay.
and she never paid one payment.
Is that
I had to
true?
go in there.
Absolutely not. He had possession of the vehicle. I chose to do a voluntary repossession. He chose to take over payment of the car rather than it getting repossessed, so it wouldn't go negatively against his credit.
I don't blame
I have
him.
3
So he
cars.
knew-
What do I
What's wrong
need
with
another
that?
I
one?
mean, he knew what he was getting into, but that was not something that he had to do.
This was
Possession.
in the divorce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Defendant James Brandt is countersuing his ex-wife for car payments, damaged property, and harassment.
Here's the bottom line. The bottom line is that the two of you went to divorce court, and you have a divorce decree that you've handed up to me to show me. That means that anything spinning off of the divorce, whether it's taxes that were a debt during the course of the marriage or car payments that were debts during the course of the marriage, have to go back to the court of original jurisdiction. You cannot relitigate or forum shop or ask another judge to make a decision as to issues that were determined in the matrimonial. Both of these issues go back to the matrimonial court. However, as far as I'm concerned, you now are in a situation where the photographs that were damaged were not part of the marital property. And the fact that you left them outside, to me, is an indication of vindictiveness, and I'm going to make you pay for that, because that doesn't go back to the marital property. It doesn't go back to the divorce court. Now, I don't know how to put a value on photographs of a parent who is dead. I don't know how to do that. You're asking for $1,500. That's a lot of money. Each of you is also suing the other for harassment. You know what? You got married. You shouldn't have gotten married in the first place, but you got her pregnant. You make that baby available to him. He is the father of that baby. She is, whatever you thought of her in the beginning, I think she's a caring, decent human being.
I've never disputed that.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So maybe the two of you should deal with this. Domestic violence, never drop charges in a domestic violence case. Some man puts his hands on you, you take it to the max. And that's my verdict. I'm going to render a verdict for you for $1,000 for the photographs. That is for the defendant. So be it. Thank you.